Hey guys, it's Kevin again with another review of systems, and today I'm going to be talking about Pixorize. Pixorize is one of my favorite resources. If you don't know what it is, it's basically visual mnemonics in order to memorize biochemistry, and they have immunology now too. But I'm going to focus on biochemistry because that's the one that was out when I was studying for step one, and that's the one I primarily used. I've heard really good things about immunology as well, and I would definitely recommend trying it. But for this review, I am going to talk about biochem because that's the one that I use. So let's get into it. So Pixorize is what I consider to be a memorization resource, and what do I mean by that? Memorization resources are basically anything that is designed specifically to help make things that are hard to memorize easier to memorize. So that includes things like Sketchy, so like Sketchy Micro, Sketchy Farm, Sketchy Path, or even Anki, which uses spaced repetition, and I'll talk about that in a later video. Um, so Pixorize is kind of like Sketchy, but for biochem and for immunology. And you can see here I put the prices that they have on their website, and I highly recommend you buy at least the biochemistry set. And if you can, I would try the immunology set as well because I've heard really good things about it. So for the memorization resources, I'm rating them on three things: the content, the stickiness, and the interface. Now, the content, I gave it a 4 out of 5, probably the weakest part. And that's not because it's not high yield. It's because the biochemistry section just doesn't cover every single thing in biochemistry. I would say it covers like about 75% of all of biochemistry, but the thing is that it's the hardest 75%, and they designed it specifically so that they were tackling the hardest and probably the highest yield biochemistry stuff. So let's dive into it. I'll just show you what I mean. So right ahead, the first section is vitamins, and if you haven't taken step one yet, you don't know this yet. But for those of you who have taken step one or are close to it, you'll know that vitamins are very high yield, as are biochemical pathways here, and lipids, autosomal dominant diseases, very high yield. So basically, they cover the stuff. Oh, this is another video. They cover the stuff that is very high yield. Okay, their stickiness, I would say they're a 5 out of 5, and I actually put the memorability of their little Pixorize cartoons on the same level as Sketchy Micro. And for those of you who watched my Sketchy video, you know that I was the biggest fan of Sketchy's micro videos because they were kind of like shorter, sweeter, to the point, and also like the memory hooks were much more memorable. Pixorize, I would say the same thing for their biochemistry. Very short, sweet, to the point. You don't even need to do all of these. Let's say you studied half of it already. You could just pick and choose a video and be like, okay, I don't remember, let's say, vitamin A. And you just focus in on this video, and you just, like, this video is perfect for memorizing the biochemistry for vitamin A. And yeah, and then the last thing is the interface. So I was also a big fan of the interface as well. And something that Pixorize has that Sketchy doesn't have is this search bar. And I made a big deal out of it on the Sketchy video. But here, let me show you what I mean. So we can look up like Gaucher disease. Boom, it's like instant, right? It's automatically popping up right there. Or like, I don't know, harden up, boom, it's instant, right? And I also like that everything's kind of on one page, so you don't even have to use a search bar. I could just be like, I don't know, A beta lipoproteinemia, and then boom, it's right there. And this may not seem that important now if you're just starting off second year, but once you start doing QBank and you start reviewing your questions, it's really nice when you see a question and you're like, Oh my God, it was about I don't know, metachromic leukodystrophy. So let me just like look up that Pixorize one more time that I reviewed. So metachromic, boom, it's right there, and you can just go click on it. You can just flash this image in your head, and then it's very very quick, and you'll find that like when doing QBank and reviewing QBank questions, like the name of the game in studying for step one and in I think studying in medicine in general is really just efficiency, um, and how much time you can shave off of like each question you do or each fact that you have to review. And this makes it really, really quick and easy to go and review. So I really like the interface here. Well, that's basically it for this review. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. If you have any questions, leave them in the search bar below. And again, Pixorize is I'm actually making a list here of all the resources that I think are must-use resources, and I'll make a video on that in the future. But I actually put Pixorize as one of those resources in the same league as Sketchy Micro. So that's it. Again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys next time. Good luck.